Okay, now we will start actually with the towel or the blanket. So, oops, what you will need to do is create a little sausage with your towel. So I'm just folding mine in half again, and then so it's the long edge. I'm just going to roll that up like a bit of a thin sausage. So it's really just quite a thin sausage type thing, and you're going to actually sit on it. So by the time you sit on it and compress it, it will sort of deflate. So it really is only maybe an inch or two off the ground. As you sit on it, see if you can, I don't know if you've ever found the bony sit bones in your bottom, but you can actually find the bony sit bones. That's where you want to sit on the towel. And that simply means that your pelvis is then going to tip forward a little. So just by lifting you that 1 inch or 2 inch, it can make it a little more comfortable for the spine, the lower back in particular. So relax into your seated position, shoulders down, close your eyes. Gently just guide your chin back. So the head is sitting comfortably on the spine. And just for a few moments, just settle with your breath. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling fully. And visualize the breath coming into the body through the nose and through the throat, expanding into the lungs. But extend that visualization and imagine the breath traveling down the funnel of the spinal column. So visualize the breath coming into the body, down this incredible channel, which is our spine. Then just warming and widening into the hip region. And as you exhale, reversing and feeling the shoulders soften. With every breath out, just letting go of any tension that might be trapped in the upper back, around the shoulders, in the neck. You might even like to move your jaw around a little. So easy to walk around accumulating tension and stiffness through the upper body, through the facial muscles. And if we set our jaw, if we feel stressed or anxious, worried, or simply busy, we can tense the jaw. And even a slight tension can have a knock-on effect of creating stiffness or tension around the neck, into the front of the neck, certainly into the back of the neck and the upper back. Take 3 more large, long inhales. On these exhales, breathe out through an open mouth. After your third breath, slowly drop your chin, move into your neck circles slowly. And just assessing the level of tension in the upper back, the neck. Remembering it might feel better for you to hold a hand on one shoulder and really get into that deeper stretch of the scaleses and the side of the neck. And then bring the chin back to center. Take a long breath in, lift the arms up. As you exhale, bring hands into heart center. Untangle your legs and give a shake. Stay on your towel. So you are slightly elevated still, give a shake, and then take the soles of the feet together. If you feel unstable on the towel, you can change it a little. You want to just hold on to the ankles and then let the body soften, moving around just a little side to side. If it feels really tight, take the feet further away from you. But keep a little bit of movement here. It's like medicine for the spine, this lovely stretch. If it's particularly tight in the lower back, and maybe you just inhale, and as you exhale, just come deeper and softer. Slowly coming up now, lifting with your arms on the inhale. And as you exhale, right arm behind, left hand hooks behind the knee. You can push the knee down so the arm is straight and keep quite an active rotation through the body. Inhale now, arms lift. And as you exhale, turn the other way. Inhale again. And finally, as you exhale, bring the hands down, cross at the wrists. You're holding on to each ankle. Bend the elbows and come on down. And then just gently roll side to side. You can extend up and straighten the arms and then almost pull yourself down. So just a little bit of fluid motion. You might actually push one hand into the foot and straighten that arm so you have this lovely opening stretch of the side body. And then pull yourself down and come to the other side. And see if you can, again, work out where that sweet spot is. Where do you feel that there is any sort of stiffness or tightness? And what happens if you stretch further into that stiffness? And slowly come back up now. Take hands behind. Take the legs in front, give them a shake. And then just roll off your cushion, off your sausage, and you're going to take it under the knees. So it's under the knees and relax with the legs. It might just be, again, an inch or two. It might be, you've got a bigger towel, it might be bigger, that's absolutely fine. Walk the hips back. Inhale, and on the exhale, come into your Paschimottanasana or seated forward fold. And just relax. So you might find that the towel or the blanket there is adding a little bit of extra boost to protect the back of the legs and create space in the hamstrings. In some cases, it's really nice, and if you have a cushion, you can do this to pad that out even more, particularly if you have a really tight back. You might have a double cushion there. So the legs are quite bent and supported, and then roll forward. That can feel really soothing. So find your way into wherever is best for you. We'll stay here for a minute or two. And just breathe out and relax. So as we explore this deeper yin type stretch, we're really working those meridians in the very back of the body, right up around the channel of the spine again and over to the crown of the head. As you allow the body to soften, relax the head, let the weight of the head just hang down. With every breath out, you might notice that there's a little more space now. Feels like a little more space between the vertebra and in those muscles around the lumbar, around the SI joints. So today's practice is very much about a slow release and some beautiful love and attention for the spine and the hips. So we probably won't even come to standing today. It's just creating space and a little bit of nurturing love for that spine, for the hips. Now, as you stay here, take a few more deep breaths. You might even lift the rib cage up, lift the chest up, extend forward, and then exhale and soften again. Make sure the legs are relaxed. You will all be feeling this in a slightly different part of your body. For me, actually, it's very much around that lumbar. It feels quite tight around that lumbar spine. For some of you, it might be in the back of your legs. For some of you, it might be in the upper back and shoulders. And as you relax, just allow the body to soften. Yeah. Just 3 more breaths here. And after your third breath, slowly come up. Take the cushion and the towel out. You won't need that just yet. And you're going to come over onto your belly. So just lying to start with on your belly. Stack the hands. Rest your forehead. Rest your head on your hands. Give it a little wriggle through the hips and just breathe now as your spine comes back into its lovely neutral position. And making our way into Sphinx pose. So we're going to come back to this pose a little later with props. But for now, just reverse that beautiful forward flexion by coming into more of an extension or a back bend. And again, we're going to hold this for at least a minute, keeping the shoulders down and relaxing completely through the hips and the legs. I used to firmly believe that unless I had been to the gym or for a long run, or unless I'd thrashed my body, really had an intense workout, I wasn't doing any good. Actually, little did I know that sometimes it's the slowest, most still changes through the body that can actually have the most profound effect. And certainly as we get older, our bones, our joints, the fascia in our body become very stiff. And in fact, by then thrashing the body, you're probably doing more harm than good. But the slow, stillness of yin or a deeper stretch can really create profound and lasting effects, which result in better posture, more fluidity in the body, less injury. Take 3 last breaths here, perhaps lifting through the sternum a little more, exhaling fully. And then after your third breath, bring the hands next to the rib cage, ripple up, and we're coming into wide knee child's pose. Now push the body back. If you want to for this one, it can be quite nice to take the sausage or the towel and place it on top of our calf muscles. Then come into your wide knee child's pose. So those, or you can place it under your feet if you have any joint issues with the feet. But just that little bit of padding, or you can add a cushion, can create a whole new level of comfort in child's pose. As you soften here, imagine the hips really melting downwards to the earth. Just 3 more breaths here. And slowly come back up onto all fours. We're going to add a little bit of soft movement. Oh, the sun shines out. I can see blue sky. It's amazing out there. All right, from your horse stance, let's just come through cat and cow, melting down to the earth. So bringing the forearms down and then expanding into a cat. And then again, releasing down and coming up into your cow. Stay with that fluidity of movement, synchronizing with your breath. And then try a little experimentation with your cat and cow, maybe moving hips to one side and then the other, as though you were moving the hips in a rainbow arc. And finally, tuck the toes under, come back into your toe squat, and then relax the shoulders. So what here, let's we're stretching the base of the feet. Just draw in through the belly. Just notice how it feels through the spine and the hips. It should feel really quite nice, unless you had an underlying issue, in which case it might feel a little worked. Bring the hands to the tops of the shoulders and just with your elbows, just do some very large circles, forwards and backwards. If the toe squat is too much for you, come up onto your knees and then reverse that. Big circles up and back, all the way. And then relax, give the arms and the shoulders, fingers a little shake. And take a sweeping motion up with the arms. Take the right arm behind you. You can either take it to the lower back or to the heel. And take a little lean back into your half camel, but keep the eye gaze looking back. So you've got this extension of the stretch right up into the upper cervical spine. We're going to keep moving. So bring the arm back, sweep that arm up. Hands to heart center, come back into your toe squat. Keep the shoulders back, the head in a lovely position. Inhale, now come up. And the left arm sweeps behind, either to the lower back or to the ankle. Eye gaze back and reach back. Bring the arm back, sweep that back arm all the way back, hands together. Bring hands to heart center. Extend the toes so that the toenails are on the mat and come back down into a kneeling position. Take arms behind your body, interlace fingers, press them down and away. And just a little movement, a little shake through the head. And relax. Good. Bring the hands forward. And from your horse stance now, Bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Going to tuck the back toes, the left toes under, and lift that back knee. And just lower the body, lower the hips, pull the back knee up. So we have quite a powerful stretch through the back of the body, through the spine, and through those muscles in the legs now we're starting to warm up. If you want to, you can keep your hands on a block. Take the back knee down, relax the toes, and climb up into your Anjaneyasana. Inhale to draw back, exhale to melt. Arms come behind, hold each elbow or each wrist, and just stay here for a few moments. Again, check out any tension through the upper part of the body. So move the neck, move the head side to side, make sure shoulders are low. And then finally, straighten the front leg, bring the hands forward, and we'll just release the back of that leg. You can add a little movement, bending and then coming back. You can lift the toes up, but wherever you are, think about inhaling, lifting the rib cage up off the body and extending forwards. And then we'll just end with a little bit of movement forwards and back. If you want more, you can bring the hands to the waist and move into that forwards, much more powerful without the hands, and you feel the stretch a lot more, a little bit of balance involved. Keep the shoulders back, maybe open your arms, open your wings when you're reaching back, dropping forwards. And then bring hands to the mat. Step back onto full pause. And then we take the other side. So bring the left foot forwards and we start with our lunge. So hands stay on the mat, tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee and stay there. So think about really dropping through the hips, pulling that back knee up. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And then knee down, relax the toes and climb on up into hip flexor stretch. Just make your way into this position with the kindness. Draw the body back, exhale, come forwards, arms behind. Soften and melt here. Again, you might like to move the head a little, making sure there's no tension there. Sometimes if we're trying to get into a position that is challenging for us, then we will, grit the teeth or clench through the upper body. So try and relax and breathe into that. And then slowly release, bring the hands forward and just come into that lovely hamstring stretch. Just make your way and into it slowly, maybe lifting the toes. As you breathe and as you settle, think about lifting the body up away from that thigh, up and away. The crown of the head surging forward so you get right up into the top of the hamstring. And add a little movement forwards and back. So maybe keep the hands grounded to start. As you find your way into that little sequence, and then perhaps hands to waist. See if you can really work that hip here. The pushing all the way back, and then as you come forwards, opening out. Just think of all that fascia across that right hip that we're really getting into here. Again, if you want to really work through that spine, the whole spinal Arrange, bring the arms back as the body slides forwards. One more. And then bring the hands to the mat and take a little shot. And we're just going to finish here with a toe squat. Landing in our toe squat, taking the hands forward, interlacing fingers, pushing the knuckles away. So we're stretching the upper back. And then retracting. So just moving through the shoulders here. So drawing the shoulders back now and then extending forwards. Now, what happens when I draw my shoulders back? Often my head juts forward. So I want to try and move the shoulders with keeping the neck and the head in stillness. So look at that beautiful motion, mobility through all those muscles through the shoulders, the upper back, forwards and back. So although we're stretching and retracting, takes effort, doesn't it? Keeping the head back. Effort ultimately means you're working and therefore releasing actually those muscles and relax. Good. A little shoulder roll. Come up out of your toe squat, give a little flick. And then just take a few big arm circles just to get that lovely range of motion through the upper back, looking back. Okay, we're coming to down dog, which is the only time we'll be halfway up this morning. So hands on the mat. Tuck the toes and come into your down facing dog. Now, in down dog, we've got a few variations. We're going to start just by bending one knee and really breathing into the length, the back of that one leg that is straight. Big breath in and out. And then lift the heel and change sides. So bending the opposite one, really pushing those rib cage, the ribs towards the thighs. Taking the head, releasing through the head. And then with both heels towards the mat in your down dog, just hold 2 breaths. Open mouth on the breath out. And then bring the knees to the mat. Relax the toes, come back into kneeling. And give the hands a little shake, the wrists a little shake. Taking a little rotation here now. Take the right hand to the outside of the left leg and the left hand behind. You can lean back if you want to, or you can keep the hand quite close to your body. But think about really drawing and rotating as you look back. Sweeping the arms up, but keeping the hips down, and then come to the other side. Rotate on the other side. Again, really press the hand towards the leg. We want to feel a bit of power here as you rotate. Eye gaze back. Inhale, come back to center, arms lift. Exhale, bring the hands down by coming back into down facing dog. Tuck the toes under and into your down facing dog. Just a little pedal through the feet here. And then from your down facing dog, just ripple to plank. Holding your plank, making sure hands are under shoulders. The upper back is slightly domed. Really strong plank position. And then move back to down dog. Now from down dog, step the feet just a little wider. Just a little wider. Stay in your down dog. Now, option is to take the right hand off the mat, thread it under your body to your left ankle, or your left upper thigh, or perhaps the calf. See if you can pull your body through. Quite intense, but again, we're working the shoulder, getting that lovely rotation. You can do this on your knees if you like. And then release the hand, knees down, relax the toes and come back. Just stay and breathe. And you should feel that through that whole left side, the shoulder in particular, and the upper back, it's had a little bit of work. Move the head side to side. Back into our down dog. So from all fours, come into your down facing dog. Take a little pedal. Ripple into plank position. This is the most effort we have today, don't worry. From your plank into down facing dog. Take the feet just a little wider, just a little wider. Long breath in, long breath out. And then this time the left hand will come through. See if you can thread it through and look to the back, to the side. Pull your body through. If you can hold it, stay there and breathe, really pressing fingers into the mat. Maybe you are doing this on your knees. 2 more breaths. And then release, hand down, knees down. Relax back into your kneeling and just stay. Give the whole shoulder girdle, the arms a little shake. So what is wonderful about that little sequence, although it's challenging, is that we get to work every muscle in the arm. We're building strength. Bone density is a great byproduct, happy byproduct of that. We should be able to bear our weight on our hands right up until we're 90. That's all we're doing for today, though. Okay, so hands down. Now, from your horse stance, just give a little shake through the feet. And then bring the right foot, the right knee through. It's going to come towards the right hand. Flick the right shin of foot in and angle your body back. So we're coming into your variation of swan. Now you can use your cushion or your rolled up towel under that right butt cheek if you want to. We're going to stay quite active. I promise we're ending with a delicious, beautiful postural reset soon. But we just want to work again through the full range of motion of that hip. Now, you can, of course, take lots of modifications here. You can bend that left leg so that you're in a deer pose. You might adjust the front foot. And just allow the body to relax. Shoulders down. Oops, Barry's disappeared, I think. As you take a few breaths here and soften, just be aware of the shoulders and the jaw again. Try not to hold tension through that upper body. One more breath here. So such a good, I think everybody should do this pose every day. Such a great way to keep mobile through the hips and all of those muscles through the lower body, really from the mid-back down. And it's a pose that your body cannot replicate in day-to-day routines of life, that's for sure. Alrighty ho, let's come up and out of it. So bring that back leg in to get the height. And then untangle your own way. Right. Before we come to the other side, we're just going to explore cat and cow, rounding the spine, releasing into cat, dropping the belly button. Then after that little bit of movement, let's bring the left knee in. Take any adjustment you need. Lengthen that leg, the right leg back. Wriggle back. Maybe you're taking a cushion under that left hip. What you'll find, one side feels really different. So each time you breathe out, see if you can drop those shoulders, free up through the neck, to the head. Maybe even keep a little motion moving the neck and the head side to side. So as you become more comfortable, you can walk the hands back, lift up more. A few breaths here. And then slowly tuck the toes. Bring that leg in, release the cushion, and come back. So we're coming back to our Sphinx pose. So you will need your towel actually rolled up into your sausage. And coming down onto the belly. For your Sphinx pose, you're going to place the towel on the lower rib, just on the lower rib. It might be, you might not feel it because your body might be too far up. If that's the case, you can slide it down even more. Now, I do like to place the towel on my belly button, and then I'll feel the pressure on my abdominals. That can be really beneficial and stimulating for the meridians, the gallbladder, liver, kidney meridians. Some people find it really uncomfortable. If there are I'll talk in a minute, okay, wherever you are, you come into your Sphinx pose, shake through the legs and the hips. We're going to hold this for 3 minutes. Now, in some cases, you might actually change it as we go through. You might take the sausage to the lower abdomen across the hips. That can be really comforting for women who are struggling with menstrual cycles that are challenging. Oh, actually, men or women who are having any sort of digestion or bloating issues. So we're using not the towel, the prop, not just to get deeper into the pose, but to affect those internal organs. There are some yoga classes, certainly one of our yoga teachers when I was training, used a ball called a courageous ball, and she did a lot of work on your belly with this soft squidgy ball under the belly. A friend of mine recently had a lymphatic drainage massage, and it was in a Brazilian school of lymphatic drainage, and she said it was absolutely incredible. But she massaged her abdomen gently in the appropriate way, and really, and it was she showed me the before and after photos, and the amount of bloating that had disappeared after this 2-hour massage was quite incredible. So we do tend to retain fluid and often have bloating. Gentle massage and can be very therapeutic. Some people find it really uncomfortable. But just simply adding a little bit of pressure in this format, in this way, can be comforting. And of course, as our skeleton is getting the benefit here with the back in this lovely extension. We have just over a minute to go. Okay, breathing into that. Now, if anybody would like to add a little more, feel free to come into seal pose. Softening the shoulders again. 45 seconds. Breathing deeply. This is the kindest thing you'll do for your spine today, most likely. As you settle here, try and relax the lower back, completely relax the legs. It's about 3 minutes, so we have a beautiful pose to finish, but first, just come down and make your way back into your wide-kneed child's pose, with or without the towel under the bottom. You can fold the arms this time and rest your forehead on your hands. You allow the body to soften. Notice how lovely it feels, hopefully now around those hips and the spine. There's quite a deep extension. So I'll give you an option now. You come up out of your wide kneed forward fold. And before we come onto our backs, you can either take the soles of the feet together and just relax into butterfly and feel that stretch again through the spine. Or if you like, you can take the towel under and come back into that, or a black cushion, and come back into your caterpillar. Wherever you are, just allowing the full length of the spine to stretch, to unfurl. Taking a couple more breaths here. And then come back up out of that. Now to finish, you're going to make the thinnest sausage you can, like so, and you're actually lying, your spine will be lying on the sausage. So you want to start on the bottom, so on the very lower part, coccyx, then laying the body down so the sausage is exactly stuck to the spine. The head should be off the sausage. And then you can either stay this way in Shavasana, I'll be doing that, or if it feels too vulnerable, or if your sausage is particularly fat, you might want to bend the knees and let the knees fall inwards. So in this position, this is an amazing postural corrector. So I would recommend everybody does this several times a week. It means that your shoulder blades are falling back off the sausage backwards, so they're not hunching forwards. It means that the upper cervical spine, the neck, the spine and the neck, is back where it should be, instead of that forward head syndrome that so many of us adopt. As you relax and breathe, If it feels really uncomfortable here, it's a bit of a sign that there possibly is a postural issue. Breathing in deeply and breathing out fully. And we're heading into our relaxation from this position. So make sure you have something warm with you if you need it. As you allow your body to relax and calm, just consider all of those muscles that you're worked. Relax the muscles in your face and your jaw, through your brow. Back to that deep and steady breath. A regular inhale, steady exhale. Allowing yourself these moments just to let go. Let go of the things you don't need to hold on to. Coming back to that breath, the deep inhale, the deep exhale. See the breath entering the body, traveling down through the spine, warming and widening into the hips. Feeling that connection, the spine to the towel, the blanket. Don't have to move into your day. Please stay exactly where you are. If you are moving into your day, maybe open closed hands. Begin to take a stretch. Rolling to one side. To seated in your own time. You are seated. Take a long breath in. Bring hands through to heart center. Namaste, everyone. That was so funny. Katie, you have Zoom tracking on your Zoom. So every movement your camera picks up. So while you were relaxing, I was watching your dog. Time he moved, I got a close-up of him and he ended up looking at me, taking